Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and my guest today is Amy Friedl Stoner. Has a show coming up. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
But not a holiday show. Well, a holiday-ish show, not a Christmas show.
Holiday-ish, not Christmas specific. But yes, a holiday show, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So you broke out of the let's do a Christmas show because you've done that for some years, off and on.
Yeah, I think this will be my 6th year doing a holiday show. And this year, seeing that New Year's Eve was on a Saturday night, we were like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's do something different. I think a lot of people don't have huge plans for New Year's unless you have like a wedding to go to or something, or you're going to the bars, which a lot of people don't want to do. I thought it would be fun to do a New Year's show and kind of we'll still do some Christmas music, a few tunes, but be able to do just a little bit more of a broad repertoire and kind of add in some more party songs.
Well, it does a couple of things. Number one, it opens up the repertoire. Yep. And also gets you out of the, holiday schedules we have a lot of great music and entertainment over the holiday season.
There's
headed
so many
into
different
Christmas.
options. Yeah, and they're all great. And what's hard is that you can try to, each year I'll kind of look at like, okay, who is doing a show when is the orchestra show? You just can't avoid the overlap. So there's a little bit less competition on New Year's Eve. And again, just for me, I love singing Christmas music, but it's kind of a nice break to do something a little bit non-traditional this year. So.
Well, and then that brings us to what kind of music can we expect? So let me start by saying, so in the last few years, obviously you've done holiday shows, and very cabaret type stuff.
Yeah.
But then you've also done your tribute shows to artists, non-cabaret artists.
Fleetwood Mac, Carole King.
Mm-hmm.
I've sung with the orchestra. I've done lots of corporate Christmas gigs, which are always great, and I'm always booking more of those. But it's kind of nice to be able to do just a really big mix. We're doing a lot of blues, some funk, some rock, some country. As usual, it's kind of a schizophrenic mix of music that I love that's sort of all tied together by Luke Viertel's arrangements and our great band. So it's a really big variety.
And speaking of your band, it is made up entirely of people that we know here at KCCK that we know and love and have watched. Some of them watched grow up since high school, but it's definitely more of a bluesy funk ensemble than maybe people are used to seeing.
It is. It's such a strong group of people. I've always had a great band. This year, I kind of have the benefit of having a lot of musicians that have worked together for a long time. So I always have Luke Viertel, my music director. He sings. He has a gorgeous voice. Such a talented man. We're so lucky to have him in town. I have Natalie Brown on violin. She's been in town forever. She's so talented. I have AJ Plummer on backing vocals. And then the rest of the band are 4 guys that have worked together quite a bit. We have Tim Crumley on drums, who's been a corridor jazz guest artist often. He's fantastic. I have Ian Draves on bass, who's a Kirkwood alum. And in Soul Sherpa, I have Hank Welter, who's a great, fantastic saxophonist, who's also in Soul Sherpa, Kirkwood alum, has done various things. And then this year, I've also added Riley Thurm on guitar and steel guitar. Kirkwood guy. He's worked with Ian and Hank, and so it's a really strong group of musicians who definitely have kind of more of a funk, blues, jazz vibe, which is really fun to add something different to just traditional cabaret music. So
how did that, when you first started pulling everybody together and started working through stuff, what was the vibe?
One of the great things I feel like about Luke's arrangements is that he creates these, beautiful arrangements for people, and then he is really great at letting people do what they are the best at. So I don't feel like he overmanages or over-arranges to say you have to play exactly this. And so it's fun to hear Hank come in and add this like fantastic saxophone solo. Ian Draves was actually the one that recommended Hank and Riley to me. So it's kind of fun to, I trust Ian. I love his artistry. To kind of see them all come together and work and do their own thing adds a different flavor to my show that it's not a skill set that I possess. So it's fantastic to kind of join forces with them.
Did that change your song selection at all? Or was it more you and Luke had picked out the the program and it just was a case where the songs maybe took on a different life?
I'd say it's a little bit of both. I'd say it's mostly the second, where like, we kind of have the songs in mind. We start planning this show in the summer, so we'll send Christmas music to each other all year. Or in this case, New Year's Eve, kind of more party songs. We have a running Google Doc where we just add things in all year that we like. But then knowing that we were going to have Riley on steel guitar, and then especially knowing that we're having Hank on sax, we're picking things that we can really feature them on, because they're such superstars that to have them and not feature them would be silly. So it's kind of a mix of both.
Well, now that you've teased us with all this, and of course you don't want to give away the whole show, but what are, I guess, start with the things that are maybe a little bit out of what people might think of as the Amy wheelhouse.
Traditional. We're doing a really great blues tune called Don't You Throw That Mojo on Me. And Winona Judd, who I love, I famously talk about how much I love the Judds. She does a really great version of that, and she has Kenny Wayne Shepherd on it, and it's just a really great bluesy kind of, funkier tune. So that one's great. I'm trying to think. We're doing a Dixie Chicks tune that will have a ton of steel guitar, a ton of soloing on it, which is really great. I'm doing a kind of jazzy version of What Are You Doing New Year's Eve that will feature Hank quite a bit. And I'm trying to think what else without giving everything away. Oh, we're doing a really fun Madonna cover. So a little 80s in there as well. So like I said, a very big mix.
Well, it sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
All the stuff that people love about your shows, but with this extra added dimension and perfect for New Year's Eve, because really, you don't want people just sitting in their chairs, leaning back and listening. You kind of want them up and moving a little bit, as much as you can in the Paramount.
Yes, there will be lots of room for kind of dancing a little bit. And of course, I'll be changing gowns a million times like I always do. And we have Scott Olinger on lighting, who's like amazing. So it'll be a full rock show. It'll be a full experience. And the Paramount is obviously a beautiful backdrop, and to have the lighting and sound, and we're just really fortunate to have it in town, and I'm so happy to be singing there. So I'm excited.
It's New Year's Eve with Amy Friedl Stoner and her ensemble on, you guessed it, New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
How do people get tickets?
People can go to Arts Iowa and get tickets there. They can go to my Facebook page, Google Paramount Theater. You can find me on the internet. We also will be doing a VIP after party, and some details will be coming on that later. So I'm excited.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's Amy Friedl Stoner live at the Paramount, artsiowa.com if you would like tickets. And again, on social media, people can find you on Facebook if they want to follow along.
Yep. Amy Friedl Stoner or Instagram.
All right, Amy.
Thanks, Dennis.
Happy holidays, and thanks so much for being here. I'm excited.
Thank you. Me too.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or however you get your podcasts. I'm Dennis Green, and I'll talk to you later.